like to know. I've been doing it for about 15 years. I started out as a flat quilter, doing fairly traditional quilts, and about in 1998 put the first 3D element onto a flat quilt, and at the same time learned how to make figures by trial and error, and the pieces morphed completely off the wall after a while, and are now completely 360, and I've had a blast doing it. The event is wonderful. I am so looking forward to seeing the show, which I haven't been able to do yet because I've been talking to people about my own work, but I have a group of friends who comes here every year, and I've heard about it for years and years, so it's wonderful to be here, and I've met so many great people today. It's been really wonderful. I live in Santa Cruz, California, and a couple of years ago the Santa Cruz Boardwalk had its 100th anniversary, and the local museum, the art museum, had a show in honor of the boardwalk, and they asked me to be part of that, and I said sure, and out of my mouth came the words, I want to make a motorized cloth-covered Ferris wheel. So then I had to figure out how to do that, and this is the result. I collaborated with a friend of mine who is a sculptor and has access to a machine shop, who did the engineering and the underlying metal work for me. It took about 6 months to complete. I just love the fact that quilting can go anywhere. It can be motorized, it can be electrified, kinetic. It is not necessarily a static medium, and it's really fun to be part of that movement.
I live in the Palm Springs area, and I teach sewing, and I'm interested in all the things that have to do with the world of textiles, and this is one of the finest shows I have ever seen. I've seen quilt shows in about 4 states, and this is as good as any I have seen. I highly recommend coming to see this show. It's spectacular, just spectacular.
My name's Pauline McCauley. I've been quilting since 1990. I think this is Miranda. She's 10. She's my granddaughter. This is Connie. She's my co-grandmother.
Hi.
And Miranda wanted to enter the next generation of quilting this year. This is her quilt. Very proud of the work she did. And we started picking her fabric in July of this last year, and we worked on it in August and September. Completed it and submitted it in October for the show, and we heard Thanksgiving weekend that it was accepted for exhibit, and it's just so much fun being here, seeing her quilt hanging in the show.
My inspiration for quilting was my grandma, because she's made a lot of quilts for me and that kind of stuff. And I also wanted to have a quilt hanging in the quilt show like she had.
I'm Wendy Butler Burns, and I'm from Lake Mills, Wisconsin, and it is fabulous to be here at the Ontario Convention Center for Road to California in the middle of January, because if I were back home, I'd be in the middle of snow. But this event. Road to California is very exciting to be involved with, and I do instruct and teach a variety of workshops this year. Amazing quilts, and of course the vendors, all opportunities for everyone who has a chance to be able to come and see the show and take workshops. The instructors, the faculty that is part of it, I'm just very humbled and honored to be a part of the group, as that you have so many different techniques that various instructors are offering up, whether it be working with your home sewing machine or a long arm machine, traditional patterns that you're creating with techniques and such, or very contemporary work. There's something here for everyone, and we love being here.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Burns. I've been coming to the Road to California for years, and this is one of my favorite shows. First of all, I live in Southern California. It's easy to just drive up the freeway and spend my time. But the people here are just fantastic. They watch me on KVCR, a local PBS station. So it's like coming here and just meeting some longtime friends. Everybody's excited. Everybody wants to buy a book, get a signature. I teach classes. And the help here at the convention center is also great. The machines are set up, the tables are set up. It's just a great experience. Don't forget the lunches. You've got to remember that too. Anyhow, be sure and come. It's just a great show to attend.
Hey everybody, Ricky Timms here, and I'm very excited at Road to California this year, which is 2012. I worked with Carolyn to put together a special exhibit of quilts, and she kind of left it up to me as to what I wanted to do. Well, I named the quilt All That Jazz Improvisational Quilts, and I put out the word for entries of quilts that were made totally kind of flying by the seat of your pants. So in other words, these quilts were started with no planning, with no pre-designing. Everyone that made these quilts just started by putting fabrics up on the wall, or putting squares together, or cutting and sewing and recutting and sewing again. And it's really fun to see what can happen if you just start with no plan and let the quilt have a voice. So there's 26 quilts in the exhibit. They come actually a lot from the United States, but we have a quilt from Norway. We have another quilt from Spain, and it's really fun to see what people all over the world are doing. So it's really exciting for me to be here this year at Road to California with this special exhibit, All That Jazz.